Hello, everybody, and welcome to my review of The Mandalorian Chapter 5, called The Gunslinger. This episode was directed by Dave Filoni. We know him from his Clone Wars and Rebels series, and there's going to be a new Clone Wars series coming to Disney Plus, which I can't wait for. I really enjoyed the Clone Wars. I thought it was really good. So let's get started. We are now with the Mandalorian in space, in his ship, obviously. He is being chased by another bounty hunter, and it's our first space battle, which is awesome. We haven't had one yet, so now we get it. And he's being tore up. This bounty hunter is just tearing his ship up to pieces. And unfortunately for the bounty hunter, he makes a mistake and says his line of, I can bring you in warm or I can bring you in cold. And so the Mandalorian does the classic move, which you've seen in most air battles, space battles, where he hits his brake and the ship goes flying by him. And then, of course, the Mandalorian has to be really cool and says, that's my line. And blows the other bounty hunter out of space. I mean, he's done. So now he's sitting there floating around, and he has to find somewhere to fix his ship. So he finds the nearest planet, which just so happens to be Mos Eisley. Now, does that sound familiar to most people who like Star Wars? Of course it does. It's Mos Eisley. That's where Obi-Wan warned Luke that he'd never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy than Mos Eisley Spaceport, which he was correct, obviously, because there were some really, shady characters there. So he gets clearance, so he heads over there and lands in the airport, or the spaceport. Before he leaves the ship, he puts Baby Yoda down for sleepage, because I guess space battles take a lot out of Baby Yoda, and he was like, that was exciting, I need a nap. So he naps. So he comes out, and there's those little droids that we've seen in the prequel Star Wars, all bopping around there. And as we know, the Mandalorian does not like those droids, and he takes a shot at them, scaring the living tar out of them, so they all crouch up, kind of like what those armadillos do when they get scared. They all bundle up. That's what they do, and they take off running. Meanwhile, the spaceport, I guess the engineer, the mechanic, she comes running out saying, hey, oh, wait, don't shoot my droids. You're going to pay for them. I don't think they say the name of her, but her character name is Peli Moto, or Mato, whatever you want to call him. And she's pretty pissed off that he was taking a shot. I mean, he's basically saying, no droids. So she looks over his ship, saying how much it's going to cost, that you need to get it fixed. So he's like, okay, well, let me go get some money. So he takes off into Mos Eisley, walking around. And he walks by that one scene we see in the trailer with the stormtrooper helmets all in spikes, which I thought was a very cool looking thing. So we head back as he's walking through the town. There she is, the mechanic, Peli, playing cards with the robots, which was a kind of funny looking scene. But then she hears a noise coming from his spaceship, and she gets her gun out and saying, you better be, warning whoever's in there, better be careful, I'm going to shoot you. And out comes Baby Yoda, which, complete surprise to her. So she picks up Baby Yoda and is like, what are you doing here? And figuring, you know what? I'm going to charge the Mandalorian extra for taking care of you. It's a pretty smart move on her part. So he heads off to another cantina in well, not another one, but he gets off to the cantina in Mos Eisley. I say another because, well, we've seen one in Mos Eisley before, and it looks great. It's got that really hazy look. There's a robot bartender, which I kind of thought was going to be more of a problem for him. And you see all the other aliens around. There's like a little gecko-looking alien there. There's like an ant kind of alien, which is really neat. I thought it was cool. And, of course, there's a droid running around there. So he asks, is there any jobs running around? And he ends up meeting the character of, Toro Calican, who's a rookie bounty hunter. Now, he has a job. Now, he has to go after this character named Fennec Shand. And Fennec Shand is an elite mercenary. He tells him that if you go after her, you're done. She's going to end you. She's an elite mercenary. She basically made a name for herself by killing for all the top crime syndicates, and including the Hutts. So he's like, dude, you're doomed if you go after him. He's like begging him. He's like, look, I need this job. You can keep the money. I just need to get into the syndicate. So he accepts it. So he heads back to his ship to get his stuff, get ready for the mission, and come to find out, Baby Yoda's not there. So he comes running out. Another funny scene. He screams, hey! And scaring the living tar out of her, and she's like, I'm awake! Which is funny as sin. And basically scaring the tar out of the robot, too. The robot just shrinks up again. So it was a funny little moment. And basically she's telling him, how long it took me to get the robot to sleep. So she's telling him, what she's doing to the ship. And, apparently he doesn't know how to take care of a child. That's another thing she's mentioned to him. But as she's taking care of it, she's like, look, I need to take care of your ship. And, I need money. And she comes to find out, you have a job. So she's following him out. And he's getting on these bikes with Toro. He's got these bikes, so they take off into the desert to make some money, so she can pay his ship off, or he can pay his ship. And they run into some Tusken Raiders, which is kind of funny because as they're sitting there, he's seeing the dewbacks, and he goes, "They're Tusken Raiders," and he said something to Mando, and Mando's like, "Well, why don't you ask him?" Well, he goes, I think he's like, "What are they doing out here?" And he's like, "Why don't you ask him yourself?" And they sneak up on him, and bam, there they are. And it was a really cool scene because he sign languages with them, and I didn't know they could do that, which is very cool. You learn something about the Tusken Raiders. And he tells Toro to throw him the binocs. Give me the binocs, and he throws him to the Tusken Raiders. He's like, "Hey, they were new," and he's not anymore. So that was their, I guess, payment to the Tusken Raiders, so they could go through their land. I mean, you had to make a deal. So off they go into the desert. They come across another dewback. This time there is someone being dragged behind him, and he basically asks him, "What do you see?" And he says he sees a rider behind being dragged by the dewback. So Mandalorian heads over there to check him. Turns him over and finds out it's another bounty hunter. And as he's looking, he finds a tracker. And that's not a good sign. So Mandalorian says, "Get down," to the guy, and he gets shot by a sniper. And as he's and we see it's that character, Fennec Shand. And he's running, and he gets shot again as he goes. And luckily, he has the Beskar on him. And come to find out, it's Ming-Na Wen. That's who she was playing, and Ming-Na Wen from Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So they decide to wait for nighttime, and as they go, they get on their bikes and they head off. And what they're going to do is they're going to use these flashbangs. I guess you can call them flashbangs. To when she's getting taken aim, she's using infrared. So when she takes aim, they shoot the flashbang off, and as it goes off, it blinds her. She can't see. So that's pretty smart going. Unfortunately, one of them doesn't really go off, and she shoots the Mandalorian's bike. So he keeps going on, and he's able to get up there. But, of course, Mandalorian gets shot again by Fennec Shand. But which actually draws her attention. She's getting ready to shoot him again as he's laying there, and Toro is able to sneak up on her and get the drop on her and says, "Okay, drop it." Well, Toro's still a rookie, and is not ready for it, and she knocks the gun out of his hand, and they get into a fight, which Fennec Shand proceeds to kick the living snot out of Toro, and as she's basically got him in this armbar, going to break his arm, it was a great distraction, because here comes Mandalorian sneaking up behind her, and basically saying, "Great distraction." So now they're discussing what they're going to do with her, because they only have one bike. So they have to go back somehow, and he's like, "There's a dewback. Go over there and check. Go get it." He's like, "No, I'm not leaving you, Mando, with with the one bike and her." And he's like, "Fine, I'll go do it." So he heads off in the desert to go get the dewback. And so morning hits, and he's sitting there waiting, with Fennec Shand, and she's telling him, "Look," he goes, he has a bigger bounty on his head. He goes, he's a traitor. I mean, you can become a legend by bringing him in. So just uncuff me, and we're good. I can help you take him out." So she goes over there and holds out her hands to uncuff him, and he shoots her, which shocked me to no end, because I thought for sure he was going to uncuff her, she's going to beat the snot out of him, and then she was going to try to get the Mandalorian. And it didn't happen that way, which was awesome. I was so happy to see that, because it threw me. And he's basically saying, why take you in when I can take him in and become a legend? Who doesn't want to become a legend? So he's, of course, monologuing over her dead body. So he gets on his bike and takes off into the desert. So the Mandalorian comes back, and he sees her laying there, and like, "Oh, crap." So he knows something's up. So he heads back to port, sees his bike in front of the place where he came out of, where his ship is. So he now knows, okay, something's up. He knows that this guy knows about him, and he goes in with his gun out, looking for Toro. Toro got on the ship and took hostage the mechanic, Peli, and his baby. Or not his baby, but Baby Yoda. So he tells, put your hands on your head, tells Peli, "Go cuff him." Now, as she goes behind him, he has one of those flashbang grenades. And he's going off just like any bad guy, just talking, telling his plan. "I'm going to become a legend by bringing you in and bringing in your bounty." And as she goes around to cuff him, she sees him, and basically she's like, "You're smarter than you look," which is also kind of funny. And so he shoots off the flashbang, which blinds the crap out of Toro. I thought for a second, why wouldn't it blind the Mandalorian? But it's behind him, so it doesn't blind him. And Toro can't see nothing. And he gets to the side and gets the drop on Toro and shoots Toro with Baby Yoda in his hand, which shows the confidence of the Mandalorian. He turns him over and makes sure he's dead. He's dead. But where's Baby Yoda? Oh, there's Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda's hiding behind a thing. Nothing happens to Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda's cool. Baby Yoda is resourceful. Baby Yoda is cool. Awesome. And there's nothing happens to Baby Yoda. Nothing can happen to Baby Yoda, because if it did, the fans would kill the showrunners of this show, obviously. So she picks him up and takes him, and gives him back to the Mandalorian. She's like, thanks for, that. And he pays her from Toro. Apparently Toro had a lot of money on him and gives her a poop ton of money. And she's like, yeah, this will cover it. I appreciate that, and so he heads off into space after saying goodbye to Peli. Really, not really goodbye. He's just giving her money. And I like that character, Peli. She was really cool. And as he takes off into space, we go back to where where Fennec Shand was shot, which was a pretty interesting. And she's just laying there. Why are we going there? Well, all of a sudden, somebody is coming up to her. It looks like someone with a cape. But who is this person? As he kneels down by her body. And that's where we end it. So that's where the show ends, with that slight cliffhanger. So, what did I not like about the episode? Pretty much nothing. I really enjoyed this episode. There was really nothing in this episode I disliked, which was awesome. I had some few nitpicks from the other episodes, but in this episode, there was nothing I disliked at all. And so my likes are abundantly clear. I mean, tons. I like the rookie. I like that he was basically a bounty hunter through and through. He had his motives, and I like the fact that he shot Fennec Shand, which, by the way, she was cool too. Obviously, didn't last very long, which was amazing that she didn't last very long. I thought she would have had more of an arc. More of more staying power in this series, but especially with the fact that Ming-Na Wen was playing her, so she's dead, and he basically, used her as a stepping stone, if you will, to get him, and he didn't know anything about her until she sold him, and that was I guess if you want to really have a nitpick, that was it. She should have played it, a little bit, a little bit more coy, a little more cautious, and he basically showed his colors as a bounty hunter. He would have made a great bounty hunter, but unfortunately he went up against Mandalorian. So his character was cool. I thought the character played by Ming-Na Wen, Fennec Shand, was really cool. She was awesome. She could fight and she could shoot, and unfortunately she didn't last very long, but still she was a cool character. And I did like the character of Peli Motto, who is the mechanic in their starport, which was very cool. She was funny. She wasn't overbearing. She was perfect character. So yeah, and the cantina. I like the cantina, showing basically a throwback to the original, the New Hope, when they went in there to look for Han Solo. Very cool little aliens, and so I enjoyed that. The episode, and we had our first space battle, which was very cool, showing again that the Mandalorian's not perfect. He was getting his butt handed to him, and he used one of his tricks to get the drop on this other bounty hunter. So the episode was really good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was really cool little episode where you got to see more bounty hunters. You saw a rookie bounty hunter. You saw an experienced one in Fennec Shand. You had one in space, which they never said the name of him, the one in the spaceship. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed the episode. I thought it was excellent. Once again, they knock it out of the park. This has been a really good series. We're on chapter 5, and we're almost done. There's only 3 chapters left, which is a shame because I'm really liking this show very much. So, what did you guys think? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Because again, I didn't have any gripes towards it. I thought it was really good. So, but yeah, him leaving the baby maybe behind, that might be a nitpick, but I don't think so. I thought it was all right because he doesn't know what he's doing. So what do you guys think? Leave a like if you like what you saw, especially if you liked the episode. Like what subscribe to continue on watching me and my reviews here of The Mandalorian, which I'll be doing. We just have 3 left. That's all we got left. It's really a shame. You know, I'm really enjoying this, and I'm really glad that they're already filming the second season. So hopefully I can get it out sooner rather than later. So thanks guys for watching. I do appreciate it. I hope you liked what you saw, and come back again so you can see more of my reviews. I will see you all again. Bye bye.